Okay, so hopefully that was a useful discussion. Now, what are we going to do about it? So, as usual, when we're talking in Dharma terms, we do start with ourselves. And whether we are male or female or some other, then the issue of our feminine and masculine aspects is something to deal with. It's not just men who have to change. We all have to change, because patriarchy, like a virus, has come into all of us, and since it's thousands of years old, it's been handed down from generation to generation, and therefore to change it requires a lot of work. And of course, people have been working at this for at least 200 years now that I know of, but still, there's a long way to go in general. But as Dharma practitioners, there are certain things we can do internally, because when we harmonize our feminine and masculine aspects, we can change. And eventually, each of us can attain non-dualistic inner harmony. Non-dualistic is, non-duality is kind of a term we use a lot in Buddhism, especially in Vajrayana, and it can mean many things. And I'll just talk about how it connects with gender. The main point is that if we can transform ourselves, then we are actually in a position to contribute something positive within our culture, wherever we live, wherever we are. And from highest yoga tantra, such as Kalachakra, there is an understanding of wisdom and method of being related to the feminine and masculine aspects of a person. So what are wisdom and method? Well, wisdom comes down to intuition, and method comes down to practicality. If we make it even simpler, we can recognize these two as being and doing. So the symbolism in Tantra is that the feminine is associated with wisdom, intuition, and being. In other words, how we are. And the masculine is associated with method, practicality, and doing. And of course, each of us has both these aspects, but often they're quite separated in our lives. Often we're very busy doing things, and then occasionally we get the chance to just be. And so we kind of have a dualistic life in relation to being and doing. And these two in highest yoga tantra, such as Kalachakra, are also associated with the left and the right. So the left is associated with the feminine, with wisdom, intuition, and being, and the right is associated with masculine method, practicality, and doing. So just to give a little taste of how this can function within ourselves, I'm going to lead a couple of short meditations, just 5 minutes each. And if you find them useful, then you can repeat them when you're on your own and take longer over them. But I'm just going to try and introduce a couple of kinds of meditation which have been effective with groups in other contexts. So just find yourself seated in a meditation posture, especially with a straight back. And from the base of your spine up to the very top of your head, imagine a line. an imaginary line. This somewhat corresponds to what we call the central channel. And we're going to imagine that to the left of this line is our feminine aspect, and to the right of it is our masculine aspect. We're going to start with the feminine by thinking about those situations in which our femininity, which each of us has to a greater or lesser degree, where it comes into our life. This might be associated to some extent with our mother, because it's from her that we received our feminine aspect in a way. Imagine yourself in different situations in your life, having conversations with friends, or active in certain situations. And just bring that feminine aspect into the left half of your body. And let's take it another step further. Whether your actual biological body is male or female. Now focus on the left side as female. And feel the energy of femininity in your left side. It can go right down from the top of your head, right down to your feet, actually. And now bring your attention to your right side. And we'll bring all our masculine aspects towards our right side. So again, think of situations in your life where you're communicating with others, or whether you're engaged in certain activities. And think about those masculine aspects of yourself which come into being in certain situations. And you might like to think that this somehow connects with your father. Of course, it's not straightforward. We're all different. Or maybe you have brothers and sisters who affected you and you related to in different ways. But now bring in the visualization that the right half of your body is actually a man's form. And just sit with these two aspects, viewing them simultaneously. And feel that you're kind of 50-50. And now the right half becomes a fully embodied male and the left half a fully embodied female, and they turn to face each other and they embrace. And the imaginary line disappears. Okay, so now we'll let go of that meditation and we'll do a second meditation on a similar theme.